welcome to today's Riot Duo Scrims here on Monday. This is game number 1 in Vikendi, and we are with team number 2, Riot. And with a flight path going from east to southwest, starting off on the coastline near to Cement Factory and ending up at Milner in the bottom left hand corner. We have got 18 teams playing today with 53 players alive, and the teams vary from Riot, Level 1, Zen, Salty Snakes, Deathly Hallows, Gen, and many, many more. And the first team to go is Team 20, Lionhearts, made up of Proxy, Vorps, and Dudders, along with what appears to be team number 6, made up of Zen Venom, Missy, and Verts. And then we have a few teams jumping in the centre of the flight path near to Cement Factory, with Team 19 RPG being one of them, along with Team 16 7 Atoms, and Team number 4 made up of Riot. And then the last few teams jump near to the Milner area, heading west towards Mavatra and Via. So to begin with, let's go straight over to Team 20 Lionhearts, as they land in the same location as Team 6 Zen, and that is at Trevno in the top right hand corner of the map. And Lionhearts have made the call to take the Dacia and move to an alternative location, but Zen is not going to let them get away scot-free, and shots are already being fired in their general direction. But they are now free to continue travelling north along the coastline just around Cosmodrome, possibly heading to the Zabava area, which appears to be quiet, and they have just decided to stop off at a compound on the way. But here we go, Deathly Hallows Jammy has just taken down Gen Raven, so let's go straight over to Team 15 and have a quick look. And for those of you who are new to the Riot Duos on Monday, it's Trios now on Monday, this is the most wanted scrim, and what that means is that one player in both matches tonight are going to be the most wanted player. If that player is killed, the killing party will win 4 bonus points for their team. If in game number 1 the most wanted player survives, then the 4 points will be carried over to game number 2, meaning that potentially one team could be in store for an additional 8 points. Now Deathly Hallows have taken down one member of the Gen team, Team 13, and Chezak and Spook are now trying to make their way to cover. We have Spook, who appears to be slightly damaged at the moment, but they are continuing to move towards southwest to 10. And here we go. So CRE Criminals just knocked Panda, and he is the most wanted player today. So that could be the bonus 4 points going in the first 3 minutes of game number 1. But without a shadow of a doubt, I'm sure that Xena and Mystic will try and get a revive in. And Xena has just got a knock on Jiggle there, and that is Criminal being taken down by Xena. And that is it, with Team 21 being taken down. That is Darksea, Juggle, and Criminal are Fusion Elite down and out. And Panda is then being revived by Xena, so they are safe to continue to the next part of today's game. And let's have a look at the zone for the first time in this match. It has moved to the bottom right hand corner to the eastern side, casting off the majority of the map. And as we can see, a fair amount of ocean is now included in this next zone. So I am almost certain that a few teams will be using that coastal line to their advantage, as you don't see many teams scouting out the water in these maps, because they think that most teams are going to be in the buildings inside the high locations such as, you know, mountaintops, hilltops, the ridges and areas like that. So with this watering plate, that gives teams a fair few options. For example, the Zen team, Team 6, who are in Trevno right now, if there is a boat nearby, they could realistically use that, just follow the coast down and stop off around the Kantra area and use that as an opportunity to find the centre point of zone, hold that compound and take some teams out that are trying to make their way in. So that could be a really good option for them. But nonetheless, let's go over to Team 18, who are the Salty Snakes team. We have Peekaboo, Nala Leo and Dizo. And they are near to team number 7, which is Zen Ryder, Neo and Alex. And shots are already being fired towards them. We have Alex and Neo up on the mountaintop at the moment over at Northwest. And it looks as though Peekaboo is doing a 2 AR loadout. Now for some people, doing a 2 AR loadout makes him a bit of an odd choice. However, an AK is always a good option for an emergency sniper if you do not have one. Putting that on single shot and having a compensator for it as well as a decent scope, that can be a great little killing weapon when you need one. And there we have Gem £1 Fish getting a knock on Gem Fitzy. So let's go straight over and have a quick look. So Fitzy is knocked. Looks as though they're doing a brief 2-1 split. Shots are still being fired by team number 12, who have lost a player of their own with Where's Wally being taken down. So Gem Fitz is behind a tree. We've got Gen Temp coming in now, trying to get the revive. But I think they are a little bit disadvantaged with the position they have found themselves in. Because with the right angle, which £1 Fish is now trying to get, they could easily have taken down Gen Temp there and Gem Fitzy again. They're now trying to retreat to get a better vantage point on Team 12. And Fish is shooting at Fitzy again. And that is Gen Temp now knocked. Gen Nick has taken down Gen £1 Fish. And the Zen team of Team 7 are just driven past. They're choosing not to get involved. We've now got Fitzy rotating around to try and get the finish on Gen £1 Fish. Tequila is at a vulnerable position, and that is Fitzy getting the kill on Gen £1 Fish there. So the best thing now for Tequila to do would be to just move away. 1 against 3 is never a good decision. And it looks as though with the terrain that Tequila is in at the moment, there is an option for them to just make their way back and leave Team 11 to heal up and go on their own way. But it looks as though Tequila's just having second thoughts, and that doubt is where they're going to lose. I think they just need to make a decision and go for it, as opposed to just stalling and staying here scouting. And I don't think the smoke would have been necessary. All that's going to do now is just draw attention to them. And now Tequila is making that decision to run, with Team 11 in a pursuit, really. They've maybe got about 100 or a couple of 100 metres between them. And both teams are now being chased in by the blue zone with no vehicles in sight for the time being. But let's now have a look where we stand with the zone. So we have around 5 or 6 teams coming in from the western side, still needing to make their way in. We have Team 15 Deathly Hallows, we have Team 17 Fusion Elite, and we have Team 13 Gen, who are just near to the boundary lines of this zone. So they are in the prime position to do a little bit of gatekeeping and make it even harder for the other teams to get in, as if the blue zone wasn't hard enough. Now shots are still being fired towards Team 12 from Team 11, but Tequila should now be well out of sight and safe for the time being. But let's now go to, I would say, Team 17 Fusion Elite, as they now come in. The bar is being fired upon by Deathly Hallows. Team 15 has gone down to around 20% health. And now grenades are coming in, with revolts being knocked. And Angel is now down 2. And Jamie is now being pursued. And that is it for Deathly Hallows being finished off by Fusion Elite. And the 7 Atoms team are now going up against the Zen team of Team 7. We are with Tempo, who is on low health as is. We have Alex, who is still up. Neo, who is not. And Tempo is now using the first aid. And that is Kenzo getting the finish on both Neo and Alex. And Gen Tequila has just taken down Gen Nick. So Team 11 continues to go up against Team number 12. The play zone has just finished off Deathly Hallows buff. And the zone is moving again. So it looks as though now that Gen 10 has split away from Gen Nick and Fitzy. And now finds themselves and they are firing from outside of zone. They have put themselves at great risk, and Temp is now being fired at by Team 5 level 1 and is now applying a bandage and just about manages to make it, but it looks like they might just be fighting against time now. And Gen Fitzy is now trying to go for Gen Tequila. Tequila is firing back. It's now Gen v Gen 1v1 as Fitzy tries to take down Tequila and vice versa before trying to make their way into the zone. Now Tequila has just thrown a smoke. Tequila has gone prone, Fitzy has gone prone. And that is Tequila, finished off by Jen Fitzy. And now we have Fusion Elite of Team 17 going up against Level 1 of Team 5. They also have Gen Temp of Team 11 in the not so far distance. So FE are now trying to get a bit of rotation in. We've got Level 1 pushing in on the opposite side of the road to them, around the 60 northeastern direction. Level 1 Zylock is low on health, and being inside blue, that really won't help. But as I always say, the blue zone is not there to make friends. And that is Gen Temp knocked there by the play zone with no help from the Fusion Elite team. They will now try and keep their eye on the Level 1 team, but we are now seeing Riot team go up against Lionhearts. So if we can, let's have a quick look as they're now trying to take down the last member of Team 20, which I believe is Lionhearts Vorps. Ooh. And Mystic took a great deal of damage there from the fall off of the tower. And that is Vorps and Proxy up and running. Right, Mystic pushing in with an Uzi. And that is both players vulnerable at the moment, with Proxy being knocked by Panda. And Panda taking down Vorps with that well-thrown molly. So that is 7 kills for the Riot team. And of course, Panda, the most wanted player for Game 1, is still in action. And let's have a quick look at Jem Fitz, who was driving a BDRM. And that is Verts getting a knock on the Salty Snakes team. I Am Game taking down Verts. Venom taking down Avery. I Am Game taking down Missy. And then Venom finishes off I Am Game. Let's now go back to the Fusion Elite team with Bar, who will just keep an eye on Fitzy. I have a very strong feeling that the zone will be the end for him. And there we have it, that is Gem Fitzy taken down by the play zone. And if the FE team are not too careful, they will be following suit. But what we can see with the next zone is that we have a split with Team 5, a 2-1 split, with Level 1 Little Legs taking the bridge alone, with Zylock and Bunny remaining near to Volnova. We have Team 2 at the northern edge by Cement Factory. We have RPG Team 19 to the right-hand side, the eastern side, with the Zen team of Team 6 near centre, along with Team 4 Riot. And then we have 7 Atoms, Team 16 on the western side, and the Gen team, Team 13 on the southern side, with Team 18, which is Salty Snakes. So we are 18 minutes into game number 1. We have 9 teams remaining and 24 players. And we are watching the Fusion Elite team of Team 17, who have 5 kills so far. and Effie Bar and Tal are now on the Dacia going to pick up Imani before making their way to the zone. And here we go, so the zone has moved again, now moving into the centre of the current zone. There are no main compounds in play now. We have a small one down at the southern side, with maybe a couple of the odd shacks dotted around the local areas. We have Team 5 Level 1 in zone, along with Team 16 7 Atoms and Team 4 Riot. You have Team 13 Gen just on the southern line. You have Team 17 Fusion Elite still needing to make their way in from west. Salty Snakes from south, RPG and Zen from east, and Riot from north. So the three teams that are in zone are in a really good position right now because they can gatekeep all of the other teams I mentioned from getting in. I think Fusion Elite will have a really tough issue with Gen and 7 Atoms being right on their line. And then we have Riot of Team 4 keeping RPG and Zen busy. And then we have Level 1 going up against Riot in just a moment. So let's have a quick look at them. And that is Level 1 Lift Legs being finished off by Riot Mystic. And it looks as though they literally opened the door to it. Here comes a Molly, Level 1 Bunny using a first aid. Right, Mystic trying to come in. And that is Level 1 Bunny taken down by Xena and the M4. And that is then Zylock finished off by Riot Mystic. We've now got 7 Atoms going up against Gen, whereas Gen's still not. And that is the play zone taken down at Peekaboo of Team 18. And that now is Kenzo going up against RPG. 7 Atoms Kenzo takes down Gen Spook. With Riot to get good going up in first with a play zone finishing Venom. So we've now got 7 teams remaining. Only 2 have their full trios remaining. We have 3 teams with 1 player and 2 with 2, with RPG Scorch taking down Dizos. That has now gone down to 6 teams remaining. We are 24 minutes in, so we are nearing the end of game number 1 with a play zone finishing off RPG Scorch. So we are now only 5 teams left. Enzo taken down by Seek of team number 4, with Tempo now trying to preserve their placement to try and get a bit higher and even go for that win if possible. But we have Goddess, Seek and Get Good on top of the hill, so they have that advantage, they have that advantage of being so high up. And now Aussie Towel is being fired at by Tempo, and that is Tempo getting the winner, with Seek now pushing down towards 7 Atom Tempo, and that is Seek not. Now Riot Get Goods comes down, Tempo is low on health, about 10% remaining. Is a race against time to get that first aid kit in before Get Good reaches him. And that is Goddess with a kill on Tempo with a G36C, the Vikendi version of the M4. And now it is 2 teams left, Riot against Riot, 3 against 2, Team 2 against Team 4. Mollies, grenades, anything that is throwable is going towards Goddess, courtesy of Riot Mystic, who now runs around with Use It. It's going to be a bit of a chase, a bit of a... well, not a bit of anything really, as Cedar gets the lock on Goddess. So it is now Get Good, the last standing member of Team 4 Riot, now rotating left, being fired at by is it for game number 1. And in first place is Riot with Xena, Panda and Mystic, racking up an impressive 13 kills. We have Riot in second with 4. We have 7 Atoms in third with 9. We have Fusion Elite in fourth with 6. We have Jen in 5th with 1. RPG in 6th with 2. And Salty Snakes in 7th with 2. If you have enjoyed this stream, please follow the channel for new content. We will be back in just a moment for game number 2. This is the Riot Trio Scrims on a Monday. I am Abs, and we will be right back.